Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu has warned that massive overnight strikes on Gaza were only the beginning.
And said that the future negotiations with Hamas will take place only under fire. According to the health ministry in the Hamas-run territory, the strikes, by far the largest since a truce took effect in January, killed more than 400 people across the Gaza Strip.
Netanyahu said Hamas has already felt the strength of our arm in the past 24 hours, and this is only the beginning. Israeli Prime Minister defended the resumption of airstrikes in Gaza, saying that military pressure on Hamas was a critical condition for securing the release of hostages held by the militant Islamist group.
Hamas already felt the impact of our might in the past day, and I want to assure you, and I want to assure Hamas, this is only the beginning. We will continue to fight to achieve all the goals of this war, securing the release of all our hostages, eliminating Hamas, and ensuring that Gaza will no longer pose a threat to Israel.
Netanyahu also urged Palestinians in Gaza to avoid any contact with Hamas and get out of harm's way.
Palestinian civilians should avoid any contact with Hamas terrorists. And I call on the people of Gaza, get out of harm's way, move to safer areas. Because every civilian casualty is a tragedy. And every civilian casualty is the fault of Hamas.
Israel's new chief of the military staff, Eyal Zamir, met with Israeli troops during a visit to Rafah in Gaza. The Israeli army released a video to show Zamir visiting the area.
Meanwhile, thousands of Israelis gathered for an anti-government protest in Tel Aviv after the country decided to resume attacks on the Gaza Strip. The demonstrations began with a rally followed by a march towards Begin Gate near the Army and Defense Ministry headquarters.
In Jordan's capital, Amman, people took to the streets of Amman to express solidarity with Gaza after the Israeli airstrikes on Gaza.
Hundreds of people protested in central Paris as well, condemning the latest Israeli airstrikes in Gaza and calling for a ceasefire. The gathering at the place was calm, with protesters waving Palestinian flags and chanting, "We are all children of Gaza," quote unquote.
We are greatly concerned about the civilian casualties in Gaza now that fighting has resumed there. Our particular concern in Germany is, of course, for the remaining hostages, which is also the case in France, and the largest group among them are German-Israeli dual nationals. My clear demand to Hamas remains, release the hostages at last.
Turkey President Recep Tayyip Erdogan denounced Israel's renewed airstrikes on Gaza.
He accused Israel of committing a genocide during Islam's holy month of Ramzan.
The Zionist regime has once again shown that it is a terrorist state that feeds on the blood, lives and tears of innocent people with the brutal attacks it carried out on Gaza last night.
The United Arab Emirates has also condemned fresh Israeli strikes on Gaza and warned about the repercussions of military escalation. Hamas has called on friendly countries to pressure the US government into halting Israel's renewed airstrikes on Gaza.
The leader of Yemen's Houthi movement, Abdul Malik al-Houthi, said his group would escalate actions against Israel in response to its continued assault on the Gaza Strip. He vowed to take all possible measures against Israel and pledged unwavering support for the Palestinian cause.
We affirm that we will resume escalation at the highest levels against the Israeli enemy. We will do everything in our power against the Israeli enemy in support of the Palestinian people and will confront any American support aimed at targeting our country in support of the Israeli enemy through attacks on our nation.